Okay, we are live. I'm just loading the astrology because Giggle and I were talking about the aspects of the astrology. So I can't see you right now. I'm currently looking at the chart. Now, as I was talking to Giggle, we are looking with the astrology at the moment that we still have the Aries energy, which is in Lilith. We've got the Aries energy in Chiron. We've got lots of squaring aspects. Look, at the moment, the node's squaring Lilith, which again, when we talk about squaring aspects, the squaring aspects come down to very difficult, really needing to choose the way in which you're doing it. It's almost like we're having a psychological evaluation. So we're looking at our shadow side, we're looking at in the collective what's going on, especially with Saturn and Aquarius. It's like the wider group energy, it's the bigger picture. So those of you who are in the first wave, a lot of you, thanks. A lot of you guys, you're getting to the point where you're looking at your life and you've come to terms with the fact that change is inevitable. Especially with Saturn-Pluto conjunction, it's going to be making aspects throughout the year. Again, it is making such. If you have been watching the Leo King, we look at these energies. Probably about by the 28th, you're going to find it's going to be a little bit more tough. But again, I've pulled the cards and I'll refer back to the astrology. We'll look at those energies of what's coming through. Now, uniquely, your crowning energy is the moon in reverse. And this is both for masculine and feminines collectively. And I'm almost feeling this energy where we're being asked to pause. It's like you can feel in your solar plexus, your inner child, that you're wanting to move forward, that you can feel something going on. You're not quite sure what it is, but something's being hidden, something isn't being revealed. Now, we are going to, let me look at the astrology because I know there's a message pertaining to the moon, so I'm going to look at it. Currently where we are, okay, on the 26th, we're going to have the moon in Aries at 23 degrees and we're going to have the sun in Aries at 5 degrees. Now, again, it's with the ego energy, the sun energy, it's strength, okay? So what we're putting our energy into, how really redirecting our energy, because we've got the new moon in Aries on the 24th of March. So we're already in that frequency. And moving through, we have other aspects, obviously, that hold the Aries energy as well. So with it is fire, it's Mars frequency. It's the movement, it's wounds coming up, it's, caution with communication, obviously. We currently have Mercury in Pisces. So again, February, March, we had very heavy energy that was connected in with Pisces, which Pisces is 12th house. We practice meditation practices. The way in which you're going to communicate will come through your psychological mind. So it's pay attention to the things you're saying. Pay attention to what you're saying in the collective. But decipher between what is delusional, what is a reality. We are moving into different times. Many that are going through this state of, being away from loved ones, being away from group orientation. I do deem this as us having a bit of a psychological evaluation where it's like a therapy session. It's like, how codependent are you? Are you able to sit and hold space? Are you able to be patient and watch things play out? Many of you who have already done Hermit energy will be accustomed to it, but for individual pockets, there can be groups where they're just not handling that, and you're holding space and assisting other people around you. Let's go back to YouTube. Now, with the moon, okay, it's telling it, now this card in the upright, I'll show you the card. Got my nails short for health, and I acetone in the car as well to keep my hands clean because we don't have alky wash. Okay, moon, pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. Now it's in reverse. No number on the card. Okay, so what I am getting, again, don't give in to your wounds, because Aries in Chiron is, again, a wound. And I was asking you guys near the new moon in Aries, it's like turn over that new leaf. Now, some frustration will come because obviously there's pauses, there's hermit mode energy going on. If you're seeing the wound, and as I've mentioned with your zodiac signs, which you can go and have a look at them, and I'm still going to move through the day and do more, you're going to understand, if you do know where your placement is for Aries and Chiron, in which house, if that trigger's coming up, and I'll give an example. I know for Librans, marriages, contracts, partnerships, example. If you're concerned about all of these things and the trigger comes in, the Mars energy is going to be activated because your frustration is you're unable to start that trend or those things that you're wanting to do because hermit mode energy. Now, so try not to allow the egoic mind, because again, the sun is in that energy, to affect you manifesting. Control what you can, let go of what you can't, because there's a pause. It's in the reverse. Now, I'm going to put clarifiers as we go. And I do need to check the settings because YouTube's interesting at the moment. So we'll use this stack. Okay. What do I see? How are we all anyway? For those of you that are new in the house, a very warm welcome. I'm a psychic medium. I cover the astrology, the moon phases, as well as twin flame path. I'm a twin flame who's been in union for a while. And I will be doing information videos. I'll try and do them daily, no promises, but they're going to become a regular thing where I just do a live and I'll do an information video to help us see what's going on. Okay, so these burdens. The burdens can be the wounds, the burdens can be the reality of what's going on, that we all collectively are carrying a big weight. This can be at a psychological level, so it's been shown to us in a pain body experience and a 3D experience to pause, because some of these things that have been outgrown in society are about to change. So although, yes, very similar to the Leo King, and Giggle was asking me this, you might not see the positivity in it yet, obviously. And obviously, if people are transcending over, no, this is not what we're feeling. But in the bigger scope of things, we're yet to see the changed energy. So the clarification is the Ten of Wands. It's like, deal with the things you can. Try not to deal with the things that you can't. If you are having sleep patterns that are being affected, it's due to the 12th house. You might be waking up, if you're keeping too busy or you're focused too much on one subject matter, you'll find if you're waking up at 3 a.m., it is there so that you can do meditation towards what is relevant to you, not what is not relevant. What's out of your control, let go. What is within your control, focus on that. Now, the masculine's crowning energy is snake in reverse. Now, I'll read it in the upright and I'll interpret it in the reversal. Again, with the green energy coming through on the card, I am feeling high heart chakra as well as Kundalini. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path, but be careful. Now, this can be that's already occurred. And again, I'm going to pull a clarifier. I do feel by the super full moon in Virgo on the 9th of March, lots of this energy have been coming through. 9 times out of 10, what you'll find is the feminine will start getting very fatigued, be having the download that there's going to be a shift in the collective. And then, and this would have been happening more so in February. After that, the energy of fatigue was coming through with the masculines, but you usually find these energy upgrades happen 2 weeks in between. Yeah, there you go. Spiritual upgrade. So the fatigue that came through and the purge has already occurred. When they've gone through that, this has shifted their energy into more alignment of more detachment of the tactile energies. Again, with all the squaring aspects with the nodes at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if it directly relates to us getting to a very realistic point of what is important. So any ego we had in a sense of attachments, they're coming to a space where they're no longer relevant. Now, feel that it was almost a prison. It's a mental prison. So the mental prison in which one was in We all will be shown what that is, especially for feminines. Whenever you're watching this, the closer into union you get, you need to be looking at the masculine side, not only from a perspective of a person, then separate and look at it how it directly relates to you. So what happens is you're constantly upgrading and healing. So in your employment sector, feminines, or the things you've been working on, you may have had a purge directly connected to it. You might have also looked at your win some, lose some energy, but be open to what's coming, because the new energy that's coming does not mean that you don't have control in your own creative energy. Balance your solar plexus and your sacral chakra, get into your meditation and start becoming creative. Now, the masculines I am feeling are doing the same thing, but I also feel at a very singular level, they're looking at things that don't resonate with them any longer and they have complete clarity over this. I do feel they retreated back into their mind's eye and they held space, very similar to the woman on the card. And they're doing things similar to the feminines, using the quiet time to be able to go over the things in their mind. The moon energy activated this. And again, I am feeling around the super full moon in Virgo that passed. It was on the 9th. It's the 9 of Swords. They're meditating upon these things and there was a heart chakra clearing. It's given them a great deal of clarity, and they do feel that time is precious. Now, again, one thing that has been coming through very heavily in my private reads has been dates, times of movement, and it is really coming through in the read, which I will explain as I go. Now, the feminine's crowning energy is Judgment. Now, it's in the upright. Soul searching will bring inner peace to many areas of your life. Now, again, this, in my mind, is linking in with the astrology, and there's a lot of astrology playing out through the cards. And the more into the cards you get, and depending on how you utilize your spiritual gifts, you can actually look at things from a perspective of the astrology, times and dates, and it gives you an idea. Now, the super full moon in Libra is going to be on the 8th. This is where the Judgment energy is coming through. And what you will find is there are quite a few super full moons. There's also 6 eclipses this year, which are massive transformations. The Judgment energy, we currently have Juno in Libra. Again, funny that I mentioned Libra, marriages, contracts, partnerships, because the frequency of Juno and Judgment is coming through in April. It is going to be going direct as of May, and that's when Venus is going retrograde, but we'll do that astrology update later. So I am saying from the time of the beginning of the year with the eclipse in Cancer and the conjunction, we have had physical movement coming through. So it theoretically at a collective level has been like a Venus retrograde, but very much connecting into all the things we're linking in with and the node energy. So families, tribe, the people we're mixing with, government, money, codependent energies, devil energy, all of these frequencies have been playing out. Now, this Judgment energy is coming to the forefront, and it is going to be large in a sense of what we need to let go of. Feminines are looking at this at a very broad level. You are understanding that these things are transforming and changing. And again, I'll pull a clarifier. The top card was... Okay, don't allow other people to make your mind up in areas that you directly have control. This is really your advice, feminines. If there is something that you need to do, you need to do what you need to do. You need to pay attention to that. Any changes in directions in your career, in the things that you're doing, just because there's a pause right now, it's not permanent. This too shall pass. So it's about becoming organised. And also it may be you're feeling it's their role to make a decision, which, yes, both energies have the role to make a decision. Now, for those of you that are watching from the yin and yang perspective, I do feel in the intuitive aspect of things, it's allow your mind to make its own mental decisions. Don't allow your wounds to govern you. And definitely with Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn, it is going to be a massive shift at the collective. So it is going to be ways in which if you start working in the areas that you feel you can see are problematic, meditate, journal, write down these ideas, see what comes to mind, use your creative mind. Okay, what is this about? Okay. Wow, that's an interesting message. Many of you may have felt this movement wasn't happening and that universe has you back on this, that justice is Juno and Saturn energy, and I am feeling that coming through. So this energy where you physically and spiritually feel that you've been allowing another energy to make a decision, I do feel you're really trusting in the process of what's happening on the collective at the moment. And this tower that has come is really where physically you understand sometimes these things need to happen to shift the collective. Many of you are in that mindset. Some of you at a very separate level, if you are giving your power away, you really, really need to look at that, because we are moving and amping things up at the moment, and these things are shifting. Now, past energy. Now, masculine energies, last year, moving towards now, and I'm feeling Christmas in July whenever I see this card. And it's unique because in July we are having the eclipse in Capricorn. So there is a lot of new beginnings when it does come to the energy of family, finances, and things to that degree. Something that the masculines manifested, they have been working on it. It is going to be reassessed again, but at the same time, their intent was pure with moving forward. Okay. Now, they have made a decision on a situation that has not been in their best interest. And I really feel there's a lot of detachment energy coming through here. So it does feel as though there's been various areas of their life that they have really evaluated. These are things that don't serve them. These are things that they have been going through for a very long time, and they physically and spiritually feel the lesson has been energetically learnt. Okay, this card's in reverse, and I'll read it to you. And again, reversal, remember, so it's doing the polar opposite. Weathering the challenges ahead will bring a new and positive future. Now, the message that's coming through is a very toxic situation, and it's not what's occurring on the collective. They're showing me something in their own life, something that they were doing in their own life, or a person or people they were dealing with at a karmic level was causing them great depression. It was, but this person said it's just no light in that energy, so it had to be let go of. Let's clarify. Yeah, there was too much of an imbalance with it, and it was really taxing them spiritually and emotionally and financially. So it's something that is being really addressed. At the heart of it, this is a change in direction. This is a very spiritual energy coming through. Dragonfly, have confidence during this time of great joy, renewal, and connecting to spirit. And I'm feeling being really directly connected. And I have been seeing a lot of dragonflies lately. So at the heart of it, they knew that they had to change direction, that they really had outgrown these things that were occurring. And they felt that it wasn't connected. And now the foundation of this, of what's happening with masculines at the moment, it's unique because we've got plane. And I'm linking this into Mercury, plus at the collective what's happening, with travel. And the Mercury energy was really in Pisces for a while. A journey is indicated either physically or metaphorically. Your life will become more fulfilling. And again, 12th house energy, because spiritually speaking, this is the energy where at the foundation, this activated and triggered them to be looking at these areas in life, so it is actually serving a purpose. Previous video I did an information video on signs about union. Go and have a look at it. and save it so that you can actually check with yourself during this process. Now, I'm really feeling sometimes it's these tower moments in life that really show us what is important. It takes us back to the basics. It's a bit like, if you get the flu, and I know this is a poor subject to be bringing up, but it's the analogy I've been using, so we need to keep some sense of normality with this. When you are purging and when you're fixated on a way something is going to be, getting back to the basics of what you need, which is rest, recuperation, drinking, and time, right? That's all you can do during that time. It's your egoic power is released because it's not real, and you accept what is. This situation with the 12th house hermit mode energy, again, there are nines coming up in the masculine read. You got the 9 of pentacles in the reverse. You got the 9 of swords. It's helping to resolve these things in their mind because the ego can't then control it. It's okay. You might have felt that at some point these things would end, but now by this occurring, it's, well, if this was the last moment in cycle, would you really be doing these things? So it's getting back to a very realistic energy. It's what is worth it and what isn't, and a lot of it isn't financial related, it's spiritual related. So it's a very rational energy coming through. Now, feminines, you guys really purged the devil energy. So some of you had changed employment, some of you aren't connected to it, because when I do look at the Capricorn energy, which is the devil card in the tarot, there can be your energy shifted really onto romance yet again, but I am feeling most of you are focused on, okay, your co-creative energy, but it's doing it not from a fear-based paradigm. So in the masculine aspect of you, you're really looking at your career, you're looking at what you can do at a creative level, you're potentially wondering, what industries will come about through this occurring on the collective. And I feel you guys are actually moving into the meditated state of what this new energy is going to be. Now, some of you will be able to utilize your creative mind, but you'll be looking at trends and you'll be looking at potentialities. And I mean, I've been doing that myself. Yeah, trying to make a judgment based on these energies. Try not to move into the energy of karmic energy. Now, when I say karmic energy, don't look at it from a point of view of you have no control. Look at it from what you do directly have control, and try and journal, try and write down what creative ideas you have coming. If you have any tasks that you need to do, try and get those energies done while you have the time, because once the energy of astrology starts shifting, which I am feeling between April and May, there's going to be a big movement. Once we start returning back out into society, it's going to be extremely busy. So you need to rest, recoup, follow your spiritual practice, journal ideas, become creative with the way you deal with situations. But know that you have a backbone, you can handle this, and you're going to become very self-reliant and resilient. Where is that deck? There it is. Okay, what's at the heart? What's that about? Feminines? Are you blocking your hearts off? Well, I did do the channeling about twin flame signs, so I'm not surprised. Okay, some of you aren't feeling as generous. Some of you, I'll get well. Okay, most of you are being very, very clear with your thinking. You're not giving your power away. You've got this card in reverse. Now, with enabling and codependent energy and things to that degree, I think most of you are getting to a very clear point in your thinking of giving and taking and things to that degree. I do feel around the energy of the moon in Libra, again, it's going to help you become more clear about what you need to do moving forward. But I do feel there is still healing coming up in this energy. Now, again, the sun is going to be bringing through inner strength for you guys, but you need to be utilizing that with the Aries energy, more so to do with your spiritual growth and your spiritual path. The foundation is there's no danger. Now, danger in a sense of anything that's supposed to happen is going to happen. Well, too many, maybe. A friendly mama. Thanks, Michelle. You crack me up. What have we got here? Okay, this is a delay, but it's not a long delay. Those of you that are stuck, and this is what I'm getting. I'm actually getting it. If there is a group of you that are feeling very stuck, you may be actually channeling the energy of what's going on the other side of the fence. Now, some of you feel this could be at a very collective level or directly connected to your masculine. You know, that there's pettiness, that, you know, there has been disputes and there's strength in reverse. But I'm feeling this is more what's occurring on the collective. Who's right, who's wrong, who did this, where did this start from, etc., etc. Then you've got the Chariot in reverse. Now remember, January we had an eclipse in Cancer, which is linked in with the Chariot, and the Chariot has been coming up all in my private reads at the moment. Some of you are very fatigued. The sun energy, again, don't tap into it. The fatigue was coming through February, March, very much from the 12th house in astrology. Future planning will come through, I feel, around the time of Venus in Gemini. Now, some of you may be on the fence with this energy. The Gemini energy is unique. It's very, how do I put it? You'll find that it can be sometimes, you know, most of the collective twin flame readers will always tune into the energy of Gemini being the twins. If you do look at the aspects in astrology, Gemini energy can come through where it doesn't want to be with a partner. But it's more so because it's non-codependent. So it lacks inhibition. It likes to be fancy-free. It's sort of that frequency that can come through, but it's more from a spiritual point of view. So this energy does look like twinned out, you know, the twins too. It's also the Aries energy with Chiron. Being, you know, in that detachment energy, but not fixated on what's going to happen, how it's going to come. At the collective level, yes, there is fair-based frequency, and this is why all of these things will be coming through. Now, you've got Beware in reverse. And I'll read the card. Yeah, intuitively, you guys will know who you can and can't trust. Some of you are, again, being very disconcerting when it comes to information occurring, what you're thinking about your twin, what's going on their side of the fence. But some of you might be a bit concerned about, can you trust your intuition when it does come to your twin? Now, as I mentioned, go and look at the video that I did previously about union in 2020, because it'll give you some information about these things. I'm telling you, Juno direct time frame. There will be a time in between April and May that very, very strongly, many of you will start getting communication coming through. Many of you also do need to understand this is a karmic cycle that, yes, theoretically at the beginning of the year we were saying that the karmic cycle are closed, but it potentially won't till after the nodes shift. Juno will then be going direct, which will be, and each time I've had Juno going retrograde and direct, something has happened in twin flame journey. Juno will be going direct in Libra. Venus will be going retrograde. Caution around karmic partners around that time. Now, what else have we got? Okay, now the energy between you guys. Overall, again, as I mentioned, there is a pause at the moment pertaining to the moon. And I do feel moving into, with the moon in reverse, like I said, I am getting this message that May, when the nodes change, massive shifts are going to happen. Nevertheless, this video is for now, moving into April. Past tense energy again, I'm still feeling nodes moving. Relating back to last year, many of you thought this was going to happen. A lot of a purge happened around Christmas last year, and then moving into 2020, both of you are feeling you had this intuition that there were shifts occurring. So through this, I'm getting dates, but I'll elaborate at the end of it and I'll pull it all together. Yeah, there were a lot of difficulties in communication. Again, I'm picking between February and March. Many of you would have been feeling that. Is this possible? When is the balance going to come? How are we going to do this? Again, that was coming through due to the 12th house. Now, the Fool card in reverse. What is this about? Not this new beginning energy, and I know what this is about. We do have the solar eclipse in Cancer at 0 degrees. Now, the Fool card's deemed as 0 degrees. Infinite ways this can go. So not until the nodes cycle out will this become completely balanced. Yeah, there you go. Karmic situation balancing, and it fell on the Fool card. So like I said, I have been seeing dates very predominantly coming through in my private reads. Again, the Death in reverse. This is not over yet. For the star to come, because the karmic path and the rebirth of this situation does need to balance out. Yeah, this is past energy being tied out so that this new beginning can come. Now, you need to look at it from a peripheral point of view. Okay, you will soar towards your destiny with greater clarity and strength. Now, the clarifier is the King of Cups in reverse. This is the advice. You need to look above the situation before proceeding forward. And I'm still seeing the energy of finances and career. It's almost like we are directly dealing with these foundational related issues. 9 of Wands in reverse. Okay, what's not working? This is what we've got to get. What's not working? Holding on to the old way of being. It's unique that we have Uranus and Taurus because it's something that is very beautiful. We're used to it. Feels comforting and nurturing. We have those aspects for a while. When we're looking at the way we were living, and this is all of us collectively, the reason why there may not be a lot of movement is directly because there is a massive shift happening in the collective. Looking above, look at the reality of it, and above I'm almost saying, look at the astrology and see what's happening. Anything that masculine was looking at where they feel they had no power of, they're actually having an out-of-body experience and they're looking down on it and they're thinking about what they can do to shift this energy. But this is a very unique time, and it's both for masculines and feminines. Yeah, 9 of Cups energy. There is going to be celebration, okay? It's helping them understand. And the outcome is the Chariot. So again, I'm going to tell you why I've been seeing these things. Now, the one heavy thing I've been seeing in my private reads, as well as within the astrology, I am seeing there is major communication as a potential coming through in April. Now, when it does come down to May, we're having the nodes change. Now, we'll still have Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. We'll also have Pluto going retrograde on the 25th of April, and it is in Capricorn. We're having the super full moon in Libra, which again is Justice and Juno energy. The nodes, once they go direct, we are going to have 3 eclipses. Now, it's going to be the lunar eclipse, which is a full moon in Sagittarius on June the 5th. Then we're having a solar eclipse in Cancer at 0 degrees. It's the critical degree, so it'll be a big change within homes, family. This can be if a person is living with a karmic, they're not going to want to be with them anymore. Also around that time, you will find that, you know, Venus will be in its retrograde cycle moving direct. So shifts and changes with those. Then the month after, we are having the eclipse in Capricorn. And that is cycling out that energy. And then a new moon at the end of that month in Cancer. So connections and family and tribe and homes are all going to be changing, especially in karmic connections. So at a very toxic level, if there's been codependency and energies to that degree, in May we're having the moon in Scorpio, which is going to get us down to the grid to pull it up to show what we need to see. Any questions? So union time, I'm picking for some of you. Communication can start coming in now. If you are in communication, it's going to continue to flow. This is activating both masculines and feminines, but you will start seeing a shift with Juno going direct and definitely with the nodes changing. But there is going to be some pretty busy aspects coming up. Even if you're in hermit mode, there's lots of chops and changes. There you go. Yeah, there will be check-in energies, but you'll find their voice to be different, their energy to be different. What would the word be? Adult. And that sounds facetious. I'm not trying to be facetious. You get my gist. It'll stop while they've got things going on. If they're in a karmic relationship, that's what's going on here. They're assessing their karmic relationship. This is giving them a 5D idea. You need to shift your energy onto you and, you know, don't get paranoid. Shift it onto you. Try not to take it personal. It's not personal. It's ending cycles out. We are reshifting the things. You can't do the work for them. They have to do it for themselves. Sounds gnarly, but it's true. Yeah, remember, don't tune into time because that moves us into victim consciousness. You should be in your mind saying you can take all the time in the world as long as you don't bring your BS to me. Total detach. Have your holiday. Have your pina colada. Try not to tune into that either. Any questions? Any questions in the house? Then I have to go look at my analytics on YouTube for comments because my sister-in-law chucked me a message. Hi, Hayley. Yeah, that's good, Dawn. You take care, doll. Yeah. Well, their energy is, but more from a perspective of it's like the dark night of the soul energy. It's the last stage, very similar to sometimes you can go through it in two pockets, dark night of the soul. Masculines are moving through their ascension very, very quickly in a short space of time. Even when you do reach union, you've got to understand that the challenges you're dealing with now, you will have different challenges within the union, which I will make videos based on it. And you'll have karma and energy together to work through. But all these things and the blockages that you're working on, you do face them within the connection, and that's within any connection. Improvement energy. Do you want me to pull you a card, sweet? I would say May more so because of the nodes shifting. Yeah, it's sort of like I do see the energy. Yeah, most things they're shifting now. They are already shifting now. It's a pause, it's a pause in general. But remember, a lot of what's happening on the collective, not just to us, but collective, we're all going through that at the same time. It is divinely guided. Like I said, what you can control, you focus on. What you can't, you need to let go of. It's a spiritual test. We're going to have, oh God. Now, what can I say? In May, we're going to have Saturn retrograde, Venus retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, Juno direct, and Pallas retrograde. So there are quite a few retrogrades. The Sun will be in Gemini, and we're going to have Mars and Pisces. That one will be interesting. Yeah, sometimes when you get to a point that you're texting your twin, if they're alone, it's different. If they're, it's not really. Be it they're alone or be it they're not. If they're not alone, you will 9 times out of 10 find you haven't spiritually closed out an emotional chapter. Now, that person doesn't even have to be with you. So you can see a twin with a karmic. Spiritually speaking, you will have energies that you have not at a spiritual level dealt with completely and made peace with. And when you're going through that, there will be separation. If your twin is in a karmic relationship and you're in a karmic relationship and you're wondering if they're going to save you, no, they're not. Because the choice is about the present moment of what you're currently dealing with, not about them as a plan. And it's both of you will have to learn that karmic lesson. Well, here's hoping. I hope it is your lucky month that month. I feel every day should be our lucky day, and it is our lucky day. Yeah, just tune out of their work, Hayley. Tune out of what you feel they'll be ready for. If anything, usually when we're saying they're not ready, it's that we feel we need to protect ourselves and they're not ready because we're not ready. So anytime we say something about our twin, it is a projection of what we are feeling about ourselves. So do they need to be ready for us to be ready? Absolutely not. If you're ready to deal with your life and you're taking accountability, we're not their mother, they're not our father. We need to take accountability. Yeah, that's good. When you're ready. Yeah. If you're with you don't leave someone for a twin flame, and that is why that won't work, and that's why more karma will come. If you're in a karmic relationship, the karmic relationship is something you've outgrown of, right? Because there's innocence in all of those. If you spiritually feel it's not in alignment for you, you staying there it's not I'm gonna leave and therefore I'm gonna jump into the connection. You're leaving, there will be no movement, right? You will literally need to come to terms with it from the perspective that you've done all the work, because what you'll do is if you leave one for the other, you jump back and forward. But the issue going on is within you. Are you happy within your life? If you were, then you wouldn't be thinking about that person. You can actually have collective love but it's different, you know what I mean? But I know when my twin was in karmic relationships, I had unconditional love for them, which was different. But if you're in a connection and you're like hoping that you can be saved or you can jump over, it makes it really messy and adds karma. So you won't find massive movement till you come to terms with it. And then moving out and then, having your space and doing things to that degree, not jumping straight into the connection, does create spiritual upgrade. Because you need time. You need time to come to terms with it. You're not going to be able to spiritually give all to your twin or all to a soulmate while you're healing on another person. get it to a humanistic experience. It's unfair to yourself. It doesn't mean to say you can't heal quick, but still give yourself a little window. What was it, Michelle? Okay, last week, look up at the tarot card. Wow. Unique. What tarot card was it? No, I think we're all on mission all the time. Some of our mission is to actually trigger people. Some of our mission is to go through a varying stage of situations. And I know that, like people around me, I actually trigger as well as accidentally upgrade. And then synchronistically, I see a lot of family members going through awakenings at the moment. Or sometimes I'm behind, sometimes they're ahead. So we're all upgrading everyone around us. But it's to serve a bigger purpose for what's coming in the next 10 years. What do you do when your circumstances? What, within twin flame union? Or just within, like, what are we talking here? Or are you talking within the collective, what's happening, Hayley? Just in general, but yeah, more push all the energy onto you. So what I tend to do is my circle of concern, which is therapeutic. It's like, okay, it's almost like you have to do something quite physical. Visualize this in your head. A piece of chalk, draw a circle around you on the floor. Those are all the things within your control. Collective, twin flame, coronavirus, it's all out of your control. Washing your hands is in your control. Isolation is in control. It's not seen as perfect because you know, but really bringing in the Oakman Tarot card. Oh, I have to research that. Okay, so, you know, just focusing on things that bring you peace, gardening, keeping your house clean, cooking, doing things that are completely in your control. As soon as you tune into that, tune out of it. I do find that also the reality that everything changes all the time, that actually helps ground you, because when you do look at things, they change. Now, not all change sometimes, well, 90% of the time is scary, but on the other side of it, when you have moved through adversity, how has it felt? It's always felt very liberating and exciting that you've achieved that. I feel unhappy with collective and it's making me codependent. Disconnect from it. It's because people are spiritually upgrading. We don't, you know, my daughter came in the other day and she was saying, I'm not happy. And she was furious. And we were bouncing back and forth, and it was a bit like a therapy session. Try and use comedy. If you're bombarding yourself with everything that's happening on social media at the moment, it's not going to help you any. You can't control what other people are doing. You can't control how they're going to energetically deal with their codependency. Yeah. Just detach from the bigger picture. We've got no control over it anyway. You may find people after this, look at the bushfires in Australia, directly after people team together and work together. You'll find that they won't define you after a while, that the tower moments won't define you. That you will totally grasp each other's side of the fence, because you would have lived everything they've lived, you will live in some shape or form. That'll be right. Okay, I shall have to go. I will also do I'll try and do one where we can actually, you can call in via my phone and you can ask questions. So I will do one of those if anyone's interested. If anyone's interested, chuck some information up on the video, write a comment if you'd be interested in the call-in, and we can do chats about subject matters. Yeah, it sounds good. I'll have a look, Dale. Sounds good. So if you haven't got my number, jump onto my website and sub, because I send out letters, emails. Love you too, Hayley. I send out updates about the moon energies, anything psychically I'm seeing, offers. Love and light, and I'll see you all soon. I'll be back shortly. This has happened the last few days. Bookings online, guys.